How's it going, everyone? I hope all of you are doing well. My name is Chris. Thank you guys for visiting the channel today. If you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe. I will be adding a lot more hip hop related content to this channel in the very near future. Now, today is a very special day. Today is August 11, 2020. And the reason why it's special is because today is the birthday of hip hop. Today was the day that DJ Kool Herc had that party in the Bronx and the culture was born. The beautiful music, the beautiful art, breakdancing, DJing, that whole four elements of hip hop was born today. And I'm very happy to say that I have loved the culture ever since I was young. I've always felt very captivated by the whole hip hop culture. I used to break dance when I was younger. I can't do it anymore, so please don't ask me to. And I was just so involved in the whole process of creating hip hop, of being a part of the culture. The only thing I will say I never really was good at, or I never really spent enough time practicing, was DJing. Like, I never really got into that art form, right? Being a producer, I know that that's kind of like a common route. A lot of people probably DJ and then, they start producing. But for me, it was just straight to producing. So that's one element that I still need to practice on, and hopefully maybe I can get some turntables in the future so I could, get my groove on. And then another little note, a little side note, is that today is my birthday too. I was born on August 11, 1991. So it's kind of cool to share a birthday with hip hop. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? So today, to honor hip hop music, we're gonna make a beat on the MPC 4000. I already have it fired up. I sampled the drum break into the AKAI S950 to get that 12-bit grit. And then we're gonna bounce that into the MPC 4000 and chop it up. And then we're gonna see if we can find a sample that we can use so we can make some music. So let's jump right in. Okay, so my AKAI S950 right now has a drum break that I recorded in. So let's see if I could play that real quick. It's a very short clip, but I'm gonna sample that into the MPC 4000. So we can get that grit. Sampling without even letting me adjust my threshold. 10 seconds is fine. The sample's shorter than that. Manual, there we go, threshold. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it down a little low. That way when I arm it, right, it's ready to go. It's waiting for the signal on the AKAI S950. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit and I'm just gonna press play. I've already kind of manipulated the sample here in my edit sample tab. I went to the program tab and I actually transposed it just a little bit, added a little bit of filter, and I want it at maximum loudness, just to kind of get a good tone out of it. Right now I'm going to increase the output just a little bit because I wanted to kind of record kind of hot into the AKAI MPC 4000. So let's do it. I know it may sound kind of weird, but I think it's because of the way that I transposed it. The way I transposed it was, and not only that, it's not the way that I transposed it. It was kind of where I grabbed the loop. It was like in the middle of a fail, I guess. So that's why when I played it, it didn't really sound like a drum loop. It sounded like a bunch of madness, but what I really want, obviously, is the kick drum. That part, I kind of want this section right here. Kind of give it yeah, that's the part I want. And if you're wondering if it's a little bit transposed a little bit too much, maybe, but we'll be able to, we'll see what we can do once we kind of chop it up and kind of edit things individually. Right now I'm trimming, I'm truncating. So now I can see the waveform a little bit better. So I'm going to kind of get a little bit closer to the transient of the kick drum or snare drum. I'm not sure what that was. I think it's a kick drum. Okay, and you know what? Maybe I transposed it a little bit too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to resample it. Actually, I'm going to tune it up first, right? I'm going to pitch shift it just a little bit. Maybe we'll go up one, complete one, and try to find a preset that's percussion. We'll do percussion 1A. I honestly haven't tested a whole lot of these presets. I think I should, to see if I can hear any audible difference. So far, I haven't really had any luck noticing big differences between each of the presets. But I know that I'm sure there's something that the algorithm is doing that's kind of creating a little bit more of a differentiating factor. That's a little bit better. I think I'm going to pitch shift it up one more time. And I like the tone of that. It's not too it's not transposed as much as it was. So now I'm going to resample into 12-bit. I'm going to bring down the sample rate just a little bit. I've done it before on the MPC 4000 and I'm just not crazy about all the ring that I get. I know that the SP 1200 does have a ring when you're sampling into it, but the ring on here is like obviously artificial, and you can tell that it's over analyzing the audio signal, when in reality the original SP 1200 circuitry and the 12-bit converters, you know, had more of a natural kind of way of reducing the sample that was going into the machine. Okay, cool. I like that. I like the tone of that, so I am going to stick with that. I'm not going to show you guys the chopping part because in my opinion that's kind of boring. It's my least favorite thing to do, believe it or not, of chopping the sample. Right now I was putting my patch cables back because I have some patch cables here. And forgive me if you see my feet, I'm not wearing any socks. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. Okay, so now I want to sample something into the S950. So I have the bandwidth at 5,000 hertz. We're gonna go to, I don't know, what's the maximum? We'll do 55,000 milliseconds. Recently, what I've been doing, for anyone that is curious, like I have records, but honestly I haven't really been sampling from records recently. I've been using Splice, and some of you might hate it, some of you might love it. I like using it for finding samples. There's this guy or a group called Soul Surplus. I'm sure most of you have heard of them already. And they create really cool sample packs. And if you have a Splice subscription, you know, you can just download them and use them with your credits that you pay monthly. But yeah, I would recommend it for anyone who doesn't really want to get that whole copyright strikes on YouTube, or if you want to monetize your music. Splice says that all samples provided on their website are royalty free. So if you happen to make a hit song using Splice samples, you should not get a bill or the original owner of that song coming at you and being like, hey man, where's my royalty? You need to pay me my fee because you use my sample. Like, that does not exist with Splice. And if you do ever come up in that situation where someone is suing you when you had paid for the subscription and gotten a sample from there, then I would recommend getting a lawyer, because yeah. Okay, so this is the sample that I'm going to be using. I'm going to record it into my S950. I'm going to turn it up so you guys can hear it. So right now I'm not going to show you the chopping because, like I mentioned, that is really boring. But when I come back, at the snap of a finger, I will have everything ready. Just like that. The samples are all chopped up. We're gonna do 91 beats per minute. I'm gonna turn off my quantize because